Hi everyone, and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It's the weekend, it's hot, but we have some garden maintenance and some succession planning we need to get done today. Hi everyone, my name is Kim. I live in Southwest Ohio. I live in Zone 6B. And it's been a very long time since I've took care of garden maintenance and that kind of stuff. I think it's been 3 weeks or so, maybe, actually it might be longer than that. We have been in this massive heat wave. Before the heat wave, we were in the rainy season. So I haven't really been handling the garden maintenance like I should. So we're going to get some of that done today. One of the things that we're going to work on are tomatoes. And for tomatoes, I got 2 pair of shears in my little cup here. I have my alcohol to sterilize the shears in between each tomato plant. We are also going to probably plant a few things as we're cleaning up the garden and we're making space. So I brought a few seeds out here. So if we decide to do that step as well, I got my garden journal right here. So if I plant anything new, I can list it in the garden journal. And I haven't planted anything new in the garden since, let's see what my last date is. May, June? When is it? Let's see, where is it? The last thing I planted, I think, were my sweet potatoes. Let's find them. Wow. First week in June was the last time I planted anything into the garden. And y'all, we are in the first week of July. So for 4 weeks, basically, I've done absolutely nothing but harvest. But now we're going to get back to it. I got my journal so we can take notes. I got my shears. Let me see what else I need. I really need my water out here because it's very hot and humid already. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm about 3 hours late from when I wanted to be out here. So we're going to get busy, do what we can, try to stay in the shade as long as we can. So y'all, let's just get busy. Well, I guess this is good of a place as any to start. I have tomatoes growing in my rolling tomatoes, self-watering, Vego garden, whatever this is. I do a lot of work with Vego Garden, and this is their rolling tomato planter. Now, I don't roll it around. I have it sitting here, and I do have tomatoes in it this year. It should have been 1 tomato plant, but y'all, I have 2, and I haven't done anything to take care of this tomato plant, and that's what we're going to do today. I mentioned to you that I have my shears and I have my alcohol so that I can clean the clippers off before and in between. I could clean every tomato, you know. I'm going to cut and clean up the bottom so I can improve the airflow of this tomato plant. So that's what I mean when I say that I need to clean it up. It's got a lot of leaves and suckers on it that we don't need. This way we can concentrate all of the energy into fewer places to give me more tomatoes. In the cup, I'm going to spray a little extra alcohol in here. In order for alcohol to truly sanitize, at least the way we do it where I work, the alcohol has to sit on whatever device you're putting it on. They say for 15 minutes, y'all. I'm not doing all of that. I will have them sitting and soaking in alcohol in between use. In here, I have Italian heirloom and black creme, I believe, is what I have growing in here. And right now, y'all, I can't even tell what's what because there's just so much in here. I'm going to pull off all of the dead looking leaves for sure. And anything that's lower than about 12 inches, we're going to take all of that off. And y'all, I should have done this a long time ago. And y'all, I do mean a very long time ago, but I didn't. So here we are. That heat came in on us and y'all, whew, it came in like a bandit. And I kind of just forgot about doing anything other than harvest and watering. I was doing good to harvest and water. But we are going to clean up the bottom of this plant. I will show you and bring you back after I get it cleaned up and looking so much better than what it looks now. And I will show you how it turns out. And again, I'm cleaning everything up. Suckers, I'm cleaning up anything that's down low. So I'll bring you back when I finish this task. All right, y'all, we're gonna call this good. I've really cleaned up the bottom here, nice and clean. I try to get all of the sides off way down low. And then right here in the middle where there's so many limbs coming up, I could have cut some of those away, but they were healthy, they looked decent, so I went ahead and kept them, but I got rid of a lot of the leaves. So when the wind blows, we can get good airflow on this particular plant. Now we're gonna move over and we're gonna work in another area on tomatoes because I think I'm still in the shade. So y'all, this is the next area. I still got just a teeny little bit of shade, so we're gonna try to do this area as quickly as possible. And y'all, I haven't cleaned up at all, not once. I didn't clean not one time. I know it's bad, but we're gonna clean it up and I'm gonna show you how pretty it can be. All of the tomato limbs that I'm dropping will all go in the trash. I don't put those in my compost, just in case there's any kind of disease or anything like that on it. No compost for these. I don't want it to spread if there happens to be any kind of disease on them. I'll also use this opportunity to kind of help move them around so that they can be happy, and use this trellising system to support them as much as possible. Because I got some here that aren't supported at all, and we're going to fix that today in all 3 of these tomato beds on Tomato Alley. Well, as you can see, I'm in the sun. I'm in a lot of sun. So let me show you what I got done before the sun became directly overhead, and then we're gonna move to another project. What I wanted to do was get rid of all of that extra foliage over here on my indeterminate tomatoes. So these indeterminate tomatoes are vining tomatoes. They're gonna just keep growing and growing. And I have my tomatoes fairly close together. You really should give your tomatoes at least a foot apart, at least. And I'm a little less than a foot in quite a few places. So it is imperative that I make sure I get all that extra foliage off so that my tomatoes have plenty of room to breathe, for one, and to grow. Now, one of the other things though, with me removing so much foliage, I do run the risk of sun scald. There really is a reason for these leaves on your vines, and it's to protect your plants as well as reproduce, right? But it also helps protect against sun scald, so it kind of gives it a little shade over those tomatoes. I removed quite a lot. I actually pruned very heavily, and I also did some weeding in this bed here, and I dropped everything on the ground right here in front of me. We'll pick it up when the sun goes down. We're not gonna worry about it right now. But also in this bed right here, I'll bring you in close in just a moment, my onion were so long, the stems of my onions were so long, they were falling over, and they were so heavy, they were falling over. So I gave all of my onion right here a haircut. Let me show you what I did. So in the very front, all of those onion, I took off probably anywhere from 8 inches to 10 inches off of each and every one of those onion all across the front. And now you can see through the tomatoes all the way through to the back side. And you can actually see the tomatoes on the plant. And most of these tomatoes are cherry style tomatoes, grape style tomatoes, and there's some right there. They look really good. And I do have a few slicers down on this end here, and there's a few tomatoes on those plants as well. You can see I really dropped. I chopped and dropped it all onto the ground. On this side here, I did the same thing. I cleaned it up and removed quite a few of those leaves off of the tomato plants on this side as well. I then moved over to this bed here and I did the exact same thing. I tried to remove as much of the foliage as I could, make sure they had lots of room to breathe. And I see where I missed a few over here. We'll finish cleaning that up a little later. After I did those 2 beds of tomatoes, I had no more shade over here, so I jumped into this GreenStalk vertical planter here, and this planter has all dwarf or semi-dwarf or bush style tomatoes in it. And it was bushy, and in some places, some of the plants had got diseased and was starting to die. And I started one by one taking out those plants that were diseased, or if they were completely dead, I just ripped those out, washed, and I continued to clean my shears, and then I trimmed up everything else. So this is looking pretty good. And again, my number one best looking, best sized tomatoes are my Burpee's Bush Steak tomatoes. And they always do really well. And that's what I have in the bottom, because they usually get pretty big. So they're in the bottom tier and they get about 3 to 4 feet tall. And they're coming up inside the trellis here. But I have tomatoes all over from the bottom. They look really good. I had to remove some diseased ones in the second and first tier, I believe. And I had to clean back a lot. There were a lot of yellow leaves in here. So I tried to clean those up pretty good. Oh, missed that one. Oh, because it had tomatoes on it. Anyway, I tried to clean them up as best as I could. And then tomorrow morning, we're not going to do it today. It's just too hot and too late in the day. But we're going to give everything a good fertilizer, fertilizing, I should say, since, you know, I caused it trauma by pruning. In my mind, that's trauma. It's like getting a cut, right? And so I want to make sure that I'm providing fertilizer to wake it back up and keep it growing. But it's too hot in the day to do that right now. So that's what I got done so far. Look at all these tomatoes right here. You might not even be able to see them, but this one plant got quite a few on it, and this one got a few on it. Y'all, I love my Burpee's Bush Steak. There's another one in here. I forgot to tell you about it, but there's another one in here, and it's called the New Big Dwarf. And I absolutely do not like that particular tomato. This is the third year now that I've tried to grow it, and it always gets diseased, or, you know, has some type of virus, you know, bacteria, whatever. It dies before it ever puts any fruit on. So I am definitely adding that to my book, to my seed starting journal and planting journal, to say New Big Dwarf is no more. We will not be growing that tomato ever again. Last year, I thought it was because I let my GreenStalk fall off the sidewalk and everything got damaged really bad. So I couldn't claim that as I couldn't claim that it's just not a good tomato until this year. Year 3, if not year 4, no tomatoes, disease, and I've had to cut them back. So, but there's some really nice ones up here, y'all. Look at that one. What is that? What is that? And of course, I don't have a tag in it. That would be my luck. That would be my luck, but it's beautiful. Once it puts the color on, I might be able to figure out what it is. Oh, it's a potato leaf. I bet you that's tasty wine. I bet you that's tasty wine. Anyway, y'all, you can see a lot of these are looking really good, and there's just a few that aren't so happy. But anyway, I'm in the sun. Let's go do something else, but let's go do it in the shade. All right, folks, I said it was hot, so I took a nice long break, but now we're going to get back to it. I get to be in the shade because I'm on the patio, and we are going to work on our elevated metal raised bed from Vego Garden, and that's what we're going to work on right now. I love this bed. I don't have to sit down. I don't have to squat. I don't have to reach. It's the perfect height. So I'm going to show you the whole bed, how it looks, and what we're going to get into. So on this side here, I did have 2 different types of brassicas here. I had cauliflower. Actually, I had all cauliflower over here, because this is where the cabbage was, right here. But it was all cauliflower. I got all the cauliflower out. I have some little pearl onion that we're going to get harvested and get it out of here. So we're going to have this square. Like I said, I had cabbage. We're going to get this square, these squares as well. I'm going to leave these turnip greens in here. I think they got a little more life in them. So maybe one more harvest on the turnip greens. So the turnip greens will stay. I had spinach here. It's all out. These are weeds. Y'all, the trees are relentless this year. But the number of tree seedlings, that's what this is. So we will get these 2 squares. I had lettuce here. It went to seed. The only thing that was growing here were weeds. So we're going to get that square. And in this square, I have carrots growing. And most of them came up. Most of them. from when I planted them before. So these, basically, we're going to get almost the whole bed back, except for 3 squares. So we will be planting 9 squares today, but I am going to refresh the soil. The soil has dropped way down, so we're going to add some more soil, and we're going to bring the soil level back up. We're going to give it some nice fertilizer. We're going to make it nice and happy, and we're going to plant some more stuff. I have a bit of a weird angle here, but I want to make sure you can see everything that I'm doing. And one of the first things I'm going to do is get these onion out. I thought I was planting a different type onion, and either I just shaded these onion out way too much by the bigger plants that were around them, or I had some mixed up onion, and it could go either way, y'all, with me, either way. But we're not going to throw them away, y'all. We're going to eat them. These will be my little pearl onion. And put them in a freezer. And when I need a little onion in a dish, pop it right out the freezer and it's good to go. I try not to waste anything here. And so this is not a loss. This is still a win. We're going to count the weights and everything like I would if it was a big onion. I'm not even going to bother about trying to cure the onions, drying them out. It's not enough here to worry about for that. So we won't worry about that. But we will grab our onion up. All right. So I got the onion. I'm going to take these dividers out. Well, the cross dividers anyway. It's just going to be easier to get the soil in. There's a little shelf underneath that I can just throw everything on. We are beyond that point in the season where I care about labels, just to be honest with you. So we might not be putting no labels back in here. We'll see. We'll see. I can't guarantee it. Let's see how I'm feeling. But we definitely will write it down in our book as to what we're planting, so we'll know when we planted it. So I am just trying to loosen up some of these weeds. I don't need these weeds. This soil has been in the bed since I planted it. Oh, Mr. Onion, I'm sorry. You can come too. You get to come to the party. And it says this is a white grano onion, but they awful small. Anyway, this soil's been in the bed since I put it together. We're going to just disturb it just a little bit. Another onion. I must be blind, y'all. 'Cause I miss those. And I really don't have to do this. I just don't want the weeds. It's really about these nasty, nasty weeds. Don't like them. Go over to this side. Clean it up just a little bit. I got to go around a few things though. And we're going to get done before that sun hits me, y'all. This is not meant to be in the sun. It's supposed to be a nice, easy patio work now. So like I said, we want to bring the soil level back up. And I'm going to use a couple different things to do that. I have a very big, heavy bag of Happy Frog that was sitting out in the rain. So we'll start with that. And y'all notice I said very heavy. I won't be picking this up, pouring it in. No, sir. That's what the big green scoop's for. I'm probably going to use the whole bag. I just got to get it light enough where I can pick it up. Oh, nice breeze finally blowing. I should have been in the shade all this time. I could have got a lot more work done on the patio. Y'all, I spilled my dirt on the ground. I ought to get the broom and the dustpan and sweep it up because this stuff's expensive. But I won't. It's only a little bit. It's not much. But it's still, I don't like spilling my dirt. Yeah, dirt belongs on the ground, but this kind of dirt belongs in a vegetable bed. I don't know if I should do this or not, but I'm pushing some of this dirt over here around my turnip greens because That will be the only spot that has soil that's much lower. I might not be doing the right thing, but y'all, that's what we're gonna do. I've made some spiders very unhappy. That's all right, they'll get a new home in a minute. So we added 1 whole bag of happy soil, and I'm gonna go ahead as well and add some compost in here. Yep, we're gonna put some compost in here too. I do like the height though, and I need the height because we're putting more carrots in. Super light because it's dry. Wow, look at the difference in dry versus wet. At the end of the growing season, a lot of soils and stuff like this go on sale. You can get it really cheap. So I bought a whole bunch of this compost at the end of the season last year, and I just had it put up to the side, mixing some of that in to give it extra nutrition. I don't always do this. Sometimes I use the compost from my neighbor's compost bin. Sometimes I don't put compost in it at all. It just depends on how I'm feeling. And today I feel like compost. Compost, but I don't feel like going back there in that sun grabbing the compost from the compost bin. So I save this kind of compost for a lazy day. We'll say that then. Y'all, I'm playing in the dirt. I like playing in the dirt. When I was a kid, I didn't play in the dirt. I was too good to get my hands dirty. And I still don't like to get my hands dirty, but I do like to play in the dirt now. I enjoy seeing what the dirt can give you. Y'all, I think that's good. Can we call that good? Yeah, we're gonna call that good. You can have a little compost too. I don't go forget about you. Put our cross pieces back in here, roughly an inch apart, or a foot apart, I should say, roughly a foot apart. And I know they're not exactly 12 inches, y'all. I know it's not exactly a foot, but y'all get the idea of what we're doing. Mr. Spider, I left you on the other side. Go back on the other side and make your home over there. I mean, you're welcome, but I don't want to be your friend. All right, go back that way. I got those seeds wet. That's not good. All right, so in the bed, we are going to put golden beets. You know what? I'm just going to put the pictures up here. We're going to put some golden beets that I got from Azure Standard a few weeks ago. So some golden beets. Y'all, I like beets. I didn't think I did, but these golden ones are sweeter. And it says right here that rich golden yellow and very sweet. And it says the greens are tasty too. So we might put some beet greens with some turnip greens. Who knows? But we're going to do beets. And we're going to do several types of carrots. Lala Lusang. Here's a picture of it right here. Purple on the outside, yellow on the or orange on the inside. We're going to also do Kyoto red. It says must be planted in late summer, fall, or winter, not for spring planting. Well, we're not in the spring anymore, so we're going to plant this one. We're going to do the Pusha. Yeah, tropical black is right here, y'all. And this one says it likes extreme heat, so it should be happy. We're going to plant some more Rolanka. Here's a picture of the Rolanka carrot. And we're going to do the purple dragon carrot. And this one also says that it is not for spring planting, that it is for late summer, fall crops. So I got 2 of them that say that. And the rest of them are just the typical carrots. Y'all, that spider crawled on me. No, it didn't. It's over there, but something crawled on me, y'all. In addition to carrots, beets, we're going to do beans. Now, I already got yellow wax beans. I already got green beans. I got pole beans. I got dragon tongue beans, but I don't have purple beans. So we're going to do purple TP beans. Now, last time I planted these, y'all, they vined a little bit. So this might be a problem, but we're going to try it anyway. Did it even say that it vines? It doesn't say. Y'all, I don't think I better do that. I don't want it to vine and mess up what I got going on here. We won't do those. I take that back. That spider done made it all the way over there. It's way over there to the ground now. That spider don't play. Let's make sure he's not hooked to me. Anyway, we're going to do the royal burgundy bush beans. So we got beets. We got bush beans. A whole bunch of carrots, y'all. And that's it. Y'all, I gotta go find something else. That's not good enough. I'm gonna go find something else and I'll be right back. And I'll come back with the seed square as well. All right, I made some executive decisions, y'all. Executive decisions have been made. I am going to do some rape greens right here. So we're gonna put the rape here. I'm gonna put, and rape, I have it growing in my neighbor's garden, but y'all, they don't look too good. They look very dry and dull, so I'm afraid I'm gonna lose those. So we're gonna do 2 more squares of the rape greens. I'm gonna do 1 of the golden beets. And I also forgot that I had purchased some golden ball turnip greens, or turnips, I should say. It says there are 3 to 4 inch roots and perfectly shaped amber globes, sweet, mellow, and smooth. Delicate grained meaty flesh that is never woody. We're going to try these turnips, gold ball turnips, golden beets. We're going to do 1 square of lettuce. And I really wanted my slow boat, but I couldn't find the slow boat. It's around here somewhere. Crisp mint was what I could put my hands on. From a carrot standpoint, we're going to back this down to just 2 squares of carrots because I have carrots here and there and everywhere else. So we're going to do the Rolanka carrots and the Kyoto red carrots, and then the Royal Burgundy in these 2 squares. That's it. That's the plan. And yes, folks, we are in July and we are still planting seeds. You can plant seeds in July. You just have to think about the type seeds that you're planting and how long it takes to get a harvest, and if these seeds like cooler weather or not. Some plants prefer cooler weather, and so when I get to the end of August, you're going to see me planting a lot of things that prefer cooler weather, because get through those last few super hot weeks and then it cools off. But for now, we're in July. We're planting like we would be planting in June. Same difference. I got my seedling square. We're going to use it again today. I'm going to try to follow the directions again today. And I really got this just to help out my new folks, my new beginner gardeners, on how to space using the square foot garden method. I roughly use the method typically without putting all of the things in place to kind of show you what a square foot is, but I'm doing this to help all of my beginner gardeners. If you're interested and you don't know, here's also a picture of the book that talks about the square foot garden method and how it works and how to set up for it. I studied that book for many, many years, and every year I pull it back out and I still learn something new. We're going to start over here on this end with the beans. The beans, I think, are 9 per square, but we're going to look at our list. Beans, bush beans. Bush beans are 9 per square, and it's in the yellow. I'm going to put my square in place, and we're going to use the yellow circles. And it doesn't quite fit in the bed because the bed is a little smaller. My square is not exact, and ooh, I don't have enough for 2 squares. Well, we'll see. So we are going to use the yellow squares. What I'm going to do is just push a hole so I can see where they need to be. And then I will drop my seeds in it because I don't have many. And we're doing 2 squares, so we'll do the same thing over here. This is just marking the holes for me. We'll get this out the way. And I see where all my holes are. I'm going to drop my seeds to the depth that they're supposed to be. Make sure they're in the hole. I think they're supposed to be a 1/2 inch deep. Y'all, they're in. Let's move on to the next thing we're going to do. The next thing are carrots. And I know carrots are 16 per square. I could look at the paper, but I can tell you it's already, where is it at? Carrots, 16 per square. We're going to use the red holes for the carrots. And y'all, I've always put more than that when I plant my carrots. I've always just planted very heavy, and then I'll go back and thin. But you know what the issue is? I never really go back and thin. That's the issue. You know, that's the plan, and then you never actually keep the plan. So we're going to try to follow the directions just the way they were meant to be. Carrots are not supposed to be buried very deep. 1/8 of an inch. It's even less than that. So basically, y'all, I could surface sow these carrots, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put the carrots just beside where it's supposed to be. I'm going to put two per spot. And then I'm going to take a little soil and put them on top. I'm going to put 2 per spot, and I can't even pick up 2. All right. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can see them. Oh, now I can see. Just beside the spot is what I'm doing. because my holes are way too deep. I bet y'all can't believe that I am spending my 4th of July playing in dirt. Everybody else is barbecuing and I'm sitting here playing in dirt. Ooh, but I smell the barbecue, y'all. Ooh, it smells good. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see. And carrots need to stay very moist until they germinate. So I'm gonna have to spend extra time over here working on this raised bed. Now we're gonna put the Rolanca in. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put it just to the side of it. After the carrots are now my, what did I say I was putting here? Rape greens. So leafy greens, I think were 9. Yes, 9 per square. So we're back to the yellow. And I'm sure 9's not going to be enough for a meal, but I can mix it with the turnip greens. I can mix it with the beet tops. So I got options. The other ones I planted way too dense. That's probably why they're having issues. I couldn't really tell what I was doing. I don't know why I was in a hurry, but I'm sure it was. 'Cause every time you turn around, I'm in a hurry. But we're going to space these out properly. I'm putting 2 per spot as well, just in case I get poor germination, but the other ones germinated very well, so I'm expecting these to be just fine. I'm going to do the same thing since these seeds are so small. I lay them just beside the hole. Moving over to the beets and the turnips. For large turnips, it says 9 per square. Beets are 9 per square. So we're on the yellow one again. I'm sure you see now the process, y'all. So let me finish putting these in. The lettuce will be 4 per square. So I'll get 4 crisp mint in here. I will get 9 of the beets and of the golden turnips. And I'll bring you back and we'll talk about what all we got done. Okay, y'all, I put the last seed in, but y'all know what I forgot to do. You saw it, even though I didn't see it. Maybe I was in the middle of a heat stroke or heat exhaustion, I should say, not heat stroke, because it's so hot out here. But y'all, I forgot a very important step that I should have done with all of my seeds, or what I prefer to do. So we put our Happy Frog down. We put some compost down, but I did not put any granular fertilizer down. And I really like to use a very low and slow granular fertilizer every time I plant something new. So we are going to sprinkle a little bit on top and see if we can, well, where I can, not on the carrots. The carrots, that's not even an option anymore. I don't think it's an option either on these leafy greens, but I can do it in a couple of spots. So we are going to sprinkle just a little bit. And we are doing this out of order. So we're going to put some over here on the beans and just give it a little toss. I can't toss much because there are beans under there. I would have given it a lot more than this if I had remembered to do it first. I cannot do it on my carrots. I'm going to just dust some here. Maybe I can do that on my carrots. You don't want your plant sitting directly on fertilizer. Over here, this is my lettuce. Here are my golden turnips, and my beets are in this square here. Now the beets, the seeds are a little bigger, so I push them a little deeper so I can mix it up just a little bit. But these I didn't. They're pretty close to the surface, so I don't want to disturb it too much. Same thing with my 4 romaine lettuce plants. These carrots have been here for a minute. Let me give them some fertilizer. Because they've been here for a minute. They can use a little bit more. Ooh, that soil is hard. You want a little food? All right, I got you just a little bit. This bed is done. So we trimmed up 2 of our 4 beds with the tomatoes. We got them nice and clean so they can get that good airflow. We also cleaned up one of my tomato planters. I cleaned up my onion in my first bed, which I didn't show you. Also clean up the onion that's in my GreenStalk that I didn't show you, but I got that done as well. I was just walking by and for whatever reason I had the scissors. So I'm like, oh, let's clean this up. So we did that as well. And we replanted our bed that sits on the patio. I mean, with the patio being here and having just a little bit of shade, all of these leafy greens should do really well in the upcoming weeks. But that's it, y'all, because I want to go in. It's the 4th of July. I want to have a nice cold drink and enjoy the air conditioner. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, and telling your friends and family all about it. I'd like to show you everything that I'm doing, but it's been so hot I haven't been able to do that very well lately. Hopefully it'll cool down just a bit and I can get back in the garden and do some work, because it's been almost a month since I've really taken care of the garden. So we got to get back to it. That's it for today. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.